See by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming. Stars and bright stars through the perilous skies, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? For the land of the free and the home of brave.
All right. Excuse me. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. Let me go ahead and turn my camera on. Oh, yeah. Before I do that, let me turn my studio light on too. I need to do that. All right. There we go. That's a lot better. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Hold on for one moment. You know how I can't do my podcast without my hat. You know, here we go. That's a lot better. Boy, that's a lot better. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, guys. Look, all right, there we go. We got action now. All right, so today's topic, we're gonna be talking about when it come down to ICE denies using excessive force on immigration arrest in Chicago. And I saw some bits and clips of it. We're gonna go over that today. But before I go over that, we're going to be just basically talking about some things in general. What's going on in the news? Well, you already know. This has happened back in June, I believe, where Mark Carney, he's the Prime Minister of Canada, lifted some tariffs against the U.S. And things. So, was that a wise tactical move? And this is coming from the conversation and things like that. Also, what I'm going to recommend you guys to do when you get some time, you need to check out Ground News. You know, I got a yearly subscription with them. And what's nice about Ground News is that you'll get, it'll tell you the journalist who wrote the article and give you the news source, and would also tell you which way they're politically aligned with. It'll say left leaning, we got center, and then we have the right. So it would give you basically more of a unbiased opinion, or I'm sorry, unbiased reporting of journalism and things like that. Stuff that we used to have in America, but yeah, you may want to check that out. And that's called Ground News and things. You can pull that up, download the app on your phone, and use that. And this is how I stay current with a lot of things that are going on in the world and the news. I'm actually going to share some of the screens in regards to that as well, because this is where I'm going to be reading from. It looked like Newsmax covered this story as well, which some of you guys have heard of Newsmax and things. So yeah, Ground News, ladies and gentlemen. So this is where you could pay for monthly. I'm not promoted by them, but I think it's $8.99 a month with Ground News. I just went on and knocked out the yearly subscription. I think they gave me like a 45% discount on it for the yearly subscription with Ground News. So I suggest that you guys check them out. Check out Ground News. This is where you're gonna get more of the real news, real journalism. They give you the source once again, whether it's leaning left, center, or right. You're going to find that under the Ground News. And this is what I use. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen and things in regards to that. But yeah, I'll do that a little later. But yeah, Ground News, ladies and gentlemen. What else is going on? So I talked about Mark Carney a little bit, right? We're going to talk about a little bit. Then we're going to go into the Chicago incident, right? So Canada We already know since June this year they dropped the tariffs, some tariffs they say, and things like that. So with Mark Carney, yeah, I mean it is what it is. Canada and things, man. They've been going in on us for years, ladies and gentlemen. And I said this before when it come down to the tariffs and stuff like that. So I'm gonna read this a little bit from what is going on here, and this is being reported from the website called The Conversation and things. So let's go ahead and get into it. Trade disputes between the U.S., United States, and Canada are nothing new, right? They date back as far as the 19th century, right? We began as neighboring countries seeking to expand their market and assess economic sovereignty. Has evolved onto a broad range of conflicts, right? So when it come down to it, like for instance, we talk about the historical trades dispute have included what's that accusations of unfair subsidies, right? Protectionist tariffs, and more recently concern over the national security of fentanyl and border security. Softwood lumber, right? One of the most important items on the list of Canadian imports to the United States have been consistently under attack by the different American what's that administrations. The dispute goes back as early as 1980 and are still on the major source of trade interruptions between the two countries. Yeah. Another important area of the trade disputes are agricultural products, namely dairy, beef, grain, as well as steel and aluminum, auto and aerospace industries. So these are the things, ladies and gentlemen. These are the things here. Just wanted to talk a little bit about that. So it was smart that Mark Carney did lift those tariffs off of the United States for certain things, but I believe that he's still holding the tariffs on some of the things that you heard me read, like the aluminum and things of that nature. So let me see here. All right. Yeah, look at that flag, man. You guys just missed the Star Spangled Banner. You guys want to hear it again before I get started? Why not? Why not? While I do that, I'm going to go take a restroom break. So give me a moment. Here we go.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Stripes and bright stars through the perilous skies, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of brave?
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's a beautiful thing. Let me put I was away from my mic. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. That's better. All right. So, yeah. So, other than that, though, ladies and gentlemen, boy, don't you just love the Star Spangled Banner, man? It's a beautiful thing, boy. Francis Scott Key, he did his job on that one. Yep. So, yeah. So, other than that, we talked a little bit about Mark Carney and things. So, look like they're straightening up their act and things and so forth in other countries as well. I didn't really want to talk about Moody over in India, but I believe that the United States is charging them 50% tariffs, if I'm correct. So Moody basically is just kind of saying this. In other words, they're going to focus on local products. They encouraging India to produce for itself 1.4 billion of them over there in India and things. So we'll see what happens there. Now we're gonna go ahead and go down and talk about the ICE thing, man, because yeah, man, I've looked at it though, man. I've actually watched it and stuff like that. But yeah, let's go ahead and do this though, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and let's go ahead and remove that off the stage. And then what we're gonna do is gonna stop sharing. Then what I'm gonna do is share this other screen here. There we go. There we go. Oops. There we go. That's the one I wanted. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So now you see it, right? There it is. You know, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. Let's go on and play a little bit of this.
ICE denies using excessive force on immigration arrests in Chicago. By Rebecca Santana.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
I'm getting hit
It was
with
3:30 a.m.
Okay,
when
there we go.
10 U.S. immigration and customs enforcement officers gathered in a parking lot in the Chicago suburbs for a briefing about a suspect they were hoping to arrest. They went over a description of the person, made sure their radios were on the same channel, and discussed where the closest hospital was in case something went wrong. "Let us plan on not being there," said one of the officers, before they climbed into their vehicles and headed out. Across the city and surrounding suburbs, other teams were fanning out in support of Operation Midway Blitz. It has unleashed President Donald Trump's mass deportations agenda on a city and state that has had some of the strongest laws preventing local officials from cooperating with immigration enforcement. ICE launched the operation on September 8th, drawing concern from activists and immigrant communities fearful of the large-scale arrests or aggressive tactics used in other cities targeted by the Republican president. They say there has been a noticeable uptick in immigration enforcement agents, although a military deployment to Chicago has yet to materialize. The Associated Press went on a ride-along with ICE in a Chicago suburb, much of the recent focus, to see how that operation is unfolding. A voice came over the radio. "He got into the car. I'm not sure if that is the target." Someone matching the description of the man that ICE was searching for walked out of the house, got into a car and drove away from the tree-lined street. Unsure whether this was their target, the officers followed. A few minutes later, with the car approaching the freeway, the voice over the radio said, "He has got the physical description. We just cannot see the face good." "Do it," said Marcos Charles, the acting...
Hold on, guys, for a minute. Hold on for a minute. I got something a little... I found the one that I really wanted to share. Let's share this one here. Give me a moment here. There we go. You got time for all that? Okay, here it is right here. All right.
Welcome back, everyone, to Live Now from Fox. We appreciate everyone continuing to join us on this Friday edition. A live look right now at Chicago. That is where we are going to be bringing you the next updates regarding Broadview, Illinois. That is where we have seen many protesters come to an ICE facility. And we want to go out there now live to the very latest with Fox 32 Chicago's Casey Cronus joining us now with a breakdown of what she is seeing. Casey.
Hey, Mike, there is so much unfolding here in Broadview today outside of the ICE processing facility, where, as you mentioned, this is where some of the immigrants who are being arrested are being taken for processing. I'll step out of the way so that you can get a look at what's going on. Now, we did retreat a little bit further back because ICE agents on the roof and on the ground have been firing pepper balls at the crowd. They contain the same chemicals as pepper pepper spray. And when it gets in your throat, in your nose, it really burns, makes your eyes very itchy. So they just kind of set some of those off here about 5-10 minutes ago. So we have moved a little bit further back, but there are still ICE agents on the roof and on the ground. Now, protesters have been here since early this morning, and there is another larger event planned for 7 p.m. local time, so in about 45 minutes here. Now, I want to take you to earlier today. So take a look at this video. Around 4:15 local time this afternoon, ICE agents were on the roof when a woman approached the fence along with a few other protesters and started yelling at them. Agents shot those demonstrators with pepper balls. Federal agents then came out of the parking lot where the woman got into a scuffle with them. She was thrown onto the ground, and as agents crossed the street, moving protesters further away, that woman reached up and grabbed the mask of one of the ICE agents. That's when another one put her in a headlock, and you can see on video there that she flashes a peace sign. Now, it does appear right now, back live, that there are more federal agents.
Hold on for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on for one moment. Do y'all think were they excessive? Was ICE excessive? You know, Omega, what's going on with you, man? Sorry, I haven't been around. Had a lot on my plate. I understand that. As soon as the whole Charlie Kirk thing happened, I know, right? Omega in the house. Hold on, Omega. I gotta do something. You know how I gotta do it proper, man. Yeah, welcome back, man. Yeah, I know you were out there getting it. Omega in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I know you were out there getting it, man. Yeah, man. I appreciate you coming on the live today. Yeah, we're just talking about ICE, was this excessive? ICE deny using excessive force and things. You saw this woman here, and things. So, there's a perimeter, as you already know, where people are allowed to protest. But when you start to cross that line and they're telling you to get back, the police is giving a direct order. This ain't could you please? They're not asking, they're telling you to stay in your area, right? When you cross that boundary, something like this would definitely happen. You know what I'm saying? Which is really, really pathetic. Because she figured, because she's a woman, I think she's like 60 years old, but she's a woman. And, sometimes with women, I say sometimes, they feel a little entitled, right? They don't think that nothing can happen to them. You don't see the men crossing the border. I mean, crossing the line, right? You know who crossed that line? You know who crossed that line? It was a woman crossed the line. She crossed that line, So other than that, yeah. Hey guys, I'm gonna have to cut the live short for a minute. I got to do something here. Damn, I just remembered. Hey, Omega, I'm coming back, guys. And guys, I'm coming back. I do apologize. I'm coming back on this and things. It was something that me and a friend of mine was supposed to be doing. Shoot, I forgot all about it. Yeah, I told him 1 p.m. too. But other than that, though, I'm sorry I had to cut this live stream short, real short. But I'm coming back on this particular topic here because it's important. All right. I'll talk to you guys. I'll say in about a few hours. Peace.